What you resist persists. I want you to keep this quote from Carl Jung at the back of your mind while watching this video, because it's tied to our desire for perfection and our fear of failing at that. I'm here to convince you and show you why failing is good and what it really means if you fail. And then I'll tie all of that and connect it to habit formation and life transformation, which is what this video is about and the previous 3 videos. This is currently part 4. I'll be dropping part 5 as soon as we hit 50 likes. Enjoy. Imagine running in a sauna. This is exactly how it feels. Running in the desert. It's the middle of the summer. 45 degrees. But we'll keep on doing it because it's fun. Failing is part of the journey. Regarding my addiction, I would have several weeks or even months where I wouldn't do it. I'll be clean. But then something would happen. I would start feeling lonely and I won't be able to handle that emotion. And as a result, I would relapse. What I used to do was, as soon as I relapse, I would be telling myself, oh, I might as well make the best out of it. So I would do it every day, once or twice a day, and I would just get straight into that horrible rabbit hole, as if everything that I've been working towards in the past month meant nothing and did nothing to me. But as I mentioned before, this kind of thinking reinforces the old habits and is not healthy, is very toxic. I do talk more about that in my P video, so do check it out. I think a good way to think of failures when it comes to habits is imagine yourself as a video game, or you're playing a video game. Every action towards your desired goal earns you a point. And then every slip up, you lose 5 points or 4 or 10, whatever. But you don't lose all your points once you fail once. Fortunately, I did not have that mindset. Instead, the mindset that I had was, I lose once, I fail once, and I lose all the 100 coins that I gained by being sober for 100 days were erased as soon as I failed once. You can sense the toxicness in this mindset. And you have to remind yourself of this biased thinking that we have once you do fail at something for whatever reason. And you have to also remind yourself that you have actually grown in the past 100 days. And these past 100 days were not for nothing if you fail now. This idea can be tied to anything you're trying to quit or change, like overeating, changing your habits, quitting a certain drug or addiction or vaping or alcohol. The journey of change is not easy, and I've learned that throughout my time trying to overcome free addiction. You will face setbacks, but you will come to notice one very important truth. The people who succeed are not the people who never fail. They're the ones who refuse to quit. This can be tied to not only habits, but also life in general, with achieving things. I can go on and on about the importance of persistence, but that's for another video. But as a TLDR, it is not possible to achieve anything meaningful without persistence, which also ties to 2 other ideas, discipline and motivation, which I'll also talk about in another video. Let me know in the comments what you guys would like to see first. Discipline, motivation, or persistence. Just a quick editor's note. Maybe not very quick, we'll see. I think it's very good to think in long term. So what I'm trying to say is, once you do any action, whether it's good or bad, think of the consequences of this action if you did that action every day, once every day, or 10 times every day. So for example, I see some sweets in there. I can go have some, but I do not want to do that. Why? Because I imagine myself thinking about how I take corn right now, and then I kind of grow this bad habit of every day, every time I get bored of the work, I just pick one up and I put it in my mouth. The long-term effects of that is I become fat. So for every action you take, think of the compounding effects it has on you. On the contrary, I'll give you a positive example. One of them is writing down your plan for the day every day and being very intentional about what you want to do for each day. Because I've noticed that on the days I do not do that, or I forget to do that, and I just like go straight to work without actually planning my work and being intentional and sincere and understanding my deep intentions behind each thing that I'm doing, I end up wasting my time and getting distracted. Getting distracted is a very big thing that happens with me when I'm not very intentional, when I'm not very sure, and I have not written the thing down. The habit that I grew is once I wake up, writing down exactly what I want to do and exactly how long I want to spend on it, and then doing the work. You come to notice that you will be less prone to distractions. But yeah, that's also another skill, being able to stop yourself from getting distracted. And even if it's something that's important, it's good to have this habit of delegating it for a later time once you are meant to work on that thing. So it's very good for that case, specifically to have a system where you can easily add these things to your to-do list, for example, your task manager. Another thing I want to add is, as I previously mentioned, letting go of perfection and thinking more of the process and start small and then eventually think in long term. As I previously mentioned, you will reach a point where you've completely changed. But change, as I mentioned, is very hard. But you got to start somewhere. Start small. You have a bad habit of not going to the gym unless your friend's going. Well, push yourself to go 30 minutes, 20 minutes, even on the days that your friend does not go. Just build that muscle of you actually going to the gym and then worry about making the best out of that gym time, so going for longer. Forget about the duration. What matters more is building that muscle of actually going there. And that's what matters in the long term. Continue rewarding yourself for these small wins, which I will be talking about in part 6, maybe. I might do 6 parts or even 7 parts for this habits video because I continue to have more ideas as I continue making these videos. But with that said, I think that is the end of the editor's notes. Continue the video. It's just the outro now. Enjoy the outro. Just one more thing. I am not perfect whatsoever. I have a lot of bad habits. Some I am willing to keep in my life, others I'm still trying to overcome. And I will talk about that in part 4 or part 5. But a quick TLDR of what I would be talking about is you really need to want to change to be able to change. So if you have this bad habit that is lurking around in your life, but you're not too motivated to change it, but you also want to, but not really want to, you won't be able to change. You actually need to really want to change to be able to change. I'm done now. Goodbye. I hope you learned something from this video. And if you did, make sure you find ways to apply it into your own life. And let me know your thoughts in the comments. And yeah, the next video will be very well tied with this current one. We'll talk about how to overcome deep-rooted habits that possess us, whether it's overcoming an addiction or just some routine that you've been doing for the past forever and would like to change it or break it. But for that to drop, we gotta get 50 likes. So make sure you hit the like button and subscribe if you'd like to keep up with the videos I'm dropping. With that said, peace out, and you'll see me in part 5. Goodbye.